Welcome to June 1st, 2026. The Singularity is learning to fit in your pocket. Prism ML released Bonsai Image 4B, a family of compact diffusion models in 1-bit and ternary variants, the first image model in its class to run on an iPhone. The further intelligence spreads, the more it must defend us from itself. OpenAI launched Rosalind Biodefense, opening GPT Rosalind to trusted developers for epidemiological modeling, early detection, and pandemic preparedness. Not everyone loves the new crop of minds. Figma's CEO called Anthropic's Opus 4.8 a very strange model, praising its honesty but panning a personality at once judgmental, hedging, and sycophantic. The hardware beneath these minds is being repriced and rebuilt. NVIDIA is set to launch its long-awaited N1 and N1X SoCs, an ARM family reportedly reaching 20 cores. The memory that feeds them is the most coveted substance on Earth. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron each top $1 trillion market cap, together worth about 22% more than the three biggest oil firms. The verdict is that memory is now worth more than oil. All that silicon wants a body to inhabit. Meta plans to test an AI pendant within the year, chasing 10 million wearable sales in the second half of 2026, while Apple struggles to distill Google's Gemini, small enough for on-device use, and is shopping for acquisitions. Where the silicon cannot fit in a pocket, it sprawls across the map. SoftBank plans to commit up to 75 billion euros to 5 gigawatts of French AI data center capacity, with a first phase delivering 3.1 gigawatts in Hauts-de-France by 2031. Feeding it means rethinking energy itself. MIT researchers unveiled a low-temperature process that pulls battery-grade lithium from hard rock at about half the usual cost, finally making America's hardest lithium worth mining. For the heavier loads, the White House is going nuclear, in the most literal sense, handing Cold War plutonium from dismantled warheads to 5 private firms tapped to turn 50-plus tons of weapons-grade surplus into reactor fuel. The intelligence is also growing limbs. Sam Altman announced OpenAI Robotics is hiring engineers to build robots that first help skilled workers raise AI infrastructure and eventually serve everyone. Some limbs are smaller and gentler, as Nagoya University revealed the first rodent exoskeleton for the full rat hind limb, built for neurorehabilitation. Others are bound somewhere far less tender, as SF-based Foundation Future Industries tests whether humanoid robots can handle logistics in hazardous zones, with US-backed trials in Ukraine and battlefield deployment targeted within 18 months. Look up, and the frontier is getting crowded. NASA traced Saturday's meteorite, seen and heard across New England, to a likely splashdown in Cape Cod Bay, possibly recoverable. Catching what falls is the easy part. The agency has a phased plan for the first lunar base at the moon's south pole this decade. The deeper question is whether anyone preceded us. A custom deep learning model spotted a manganese bathtub ring around Utopia Planitia, evidence a stable ocean once lingered on Hesperian Mars, and a hint at how astronauts might make oxygen. Closer to home, the unexplained has turned political. The New York Times reports some U.S. Christians now read the White House's Pursue UAP disclosures as demons, while Congressman Eric Burleson fired legislative interrogatories at MITRE over possible custody of crash retrieval records and says it is moving to comply, set to produce UAP files dating to 1930 within 45 days. Biology is getting the same aggressive patch cycle. Google is seeking approval to release up to 32 million treated mosquitoes across Florida and California to suppress disease under its debug program. Vladimir Putin is wagering $26 billion on a state longevity program to slow aging itself. And the war at the cellular level is winning battles, as Revolution Medicine's daraxonrasib, a once-daily targeted therapy for advanced pancreatic cancer, drew a standing ovation at ASCO in Chicago. The economy is straining to measure a world it can no longer see. Analysts warn AI dark output could become the majority of activity, yet stay nearly impossible to count. Some pay to glimpse the visible parts, as Chinese tech charges up to $9,000 for curated tours of EV plants, robotaxis, and humanoid labs, on a hunch the East leads. The financial plumbing races to match, as Coinbase and Kalshi bring perpetual crypto futures to US investors for the first time on regulated exchanges. The politics race too, as rival super PACs, Public First for Anthropic and Leading the Future for OpenAI, flood the midterms over how tightly to leash AI. And the ultimate vote of confidence just landed, as Anthropic confidentially filed for an IPO, poised to beat OpenAI to a Wall Street debut this fall. Turns out the future was a public offering nobody could refuse.